Hey, True Believers, Englentine here with another episode of Comic Book Origins, where we take a look at the very first appearance of any comic book supervillain, hero, team, or generally any character. In this case, we are looking at OMAC Buddy Blank, created in 1974 by none other than the great Jack Kirby. This strange thing about this one is it's an idea that Kirby had had since he first left Marvel the first time, where he wanted to make a comic book about Captain America set in the future. That's right, OMAC is Captain America set in the future. It's completely contractual. The New Gods were over. He had 15 pages to deliver every week. So he says, aha, I've got an idea, and thus OMAC, the one-man army corps, was born. As always, we take a look at the cover first. Now the cover is asking us, are you ready for OMAC, the one-man army? And we see OMAC throwing a cube with a woman whose hands and legs are sticky and head are sticking out. This is nightmarish. It really is. I'm not ready for that. I don't know what future you're saying, because it's like a startling look into the world that's coming. But yeah, that's kind of scary. I don't know if I'm ready for this particular thing. Oh my gosh, it's more of that nightmare shit. Seriously, come on, Jack, what's going on here? This is just wrong. OMAC One-Man Army Corps is the story of a young man in the world that's coming. In a strange place, the common objects of today may become the terrors that we never bargained for, like the one below. Hello, put me together and I will be your friend. Lila. Build a friend. Okay, so that's what this is. Oh my gosh, is Jack Kirby introducing the sex robot into DC Comics? All right, ladies and gentlemen, the very first appearance of OMAC. This book starts right away. By the powers granted to me by the Global Peace Agency, I declare this plant illegal and dangerous. And we see everybody who's working there running around. Oh, confound the Peace Agency. They've ruined our racket. Run. When the plan is cleared, OMAC takes one last look at the tragic product of man. Lila, put me together and I will be your friend. No, Lila, no one could put this kind of terrible thing together. Hello, where does humanity stop and technology begin? We no longer know, Lila. I'm no longer who I was, and you, Lila, you and all other things must be destroyed. Things pretty much covers, well, everything, OMAC. You want to be a little bit more specific here? But no, OMAC is not in need of being specific. He says goodbye to Lila and says, my body is transmitting enough explosive power into this unit to start a chain of blow-ups. Then as OMAC leaves, boom, as we see the building exploding. Oh, wait a second, it's 1974, and OMAC is slow walking away from an explosion without looking. Dude, he did it 30 years before it became popular in the movies. Okay, well, that seemed to be like the opening of a James Bond film. We got an action scene that maybe it'll have something to do with what's going on here. Because it says, OMAC, the one-man army, really begins here in a one-man operation, a unit of many small subdivisions growing out of what was once called NASA. This facet of the world that's coming reveals how today's space satellites may become more than just instruments. It's Brother Eye and Buddy Blank, and we see a guy looking at a picture and a profile of Buddy Blank and saying, aha, we finally found him. And these little robot-looking guys saying, well, we had to be nonpartisan because we represent every nation, and whoever is chosen is going to be given a lot of power. So the little robot people we find out are actually just regular people covering their faces with cosmetic spray saying, well, we don't want people to know where we're from. We could be of any nation, like accents don't exist. And once they leave, Professor Myron Forrest, you've waited for this moment now. It's come. I haven't touched these controls since my satellite was launched to wait up there. Brother Eye has been sleeping. Ah, there you are, Brother Eye, moving faithfully in orbit, the most advanced and complex piece of metal in the dangerous age. So Brother Eye is awakened, and he's told to make Buddy Blank into OMAC, and yeah, Buddy Blank, we get the name. He's nobody, he's nothing until OMAC is put upon him, and we do see that he is being pushed around, kind of Charles Atlas out of the way, because the bully wants to see the pretty girl. But Buddy decides to stand up for himself, gets hit, and of course the boss takes the bully's side, saying, you got a persecution problem there, Buddy Blank. You better move on. And as he's moving on, the bully trips him. What, that rat? He tripped me. And then we enter the mind of Jack Kirby. And dude, so Buddy is actually yelled at for being tripped, and he's saying, don't blame that on somebody else, old buddy blank. You go on and you go to the psychology section. In the psychology section, in the world that's coming, discontented employees may find new attitudes here. He's about to enter the destruct room. A young lady walks out. The crying room, buddy. I feel great after a good cry. The destruct room is just what the name implies, as we see a whole bunch of people with knives just ripping apart books, apparently smashing something with a hammer. And he comes across the bully. Hi, buddy, try kicking one of these pseudo people down a rail. And Buddy's like, no, thank you. The company makes him a little too lifelike for my tastes. And he's like, too bad, kicking him is real fun. Are we stepping into the mind of Jack Kirby here? I'm actually surprised that one of these pseudo people don't look like Stan Lee. But Buddy's not angry. He doesn't need to let out that kind of aggression, and he walks away from all the destruction and bumps into his friend Lila, who says, hey, she's missed him, but just is way too busy to come and say hi. And he's like, oh, do you have to leave already? And she says yes. And we see some people staring at her going, hey, wait a second, there she is, she's perfect, a lot better than those company blanks that we have to work with. And when Buddy leaves, we see the gentleman approach Lila, and they take her into a warehouse where we see that she's fake. She's a pseudo-human, I guess a robot though, that looks like a woman that exists. So what do they do with the real women? That's the big question here, right? Oh, this is nice. We reached a new chapter. The secrets of the world that's coming may be too terrible to share for one so troubled as young Buddy Blank. They prove overwhelming. Buddy has done the unexpected. He has dared to come to Section D, and a rendezvous with destiny is the birth of OMAC. And we see that Buddy came downstairs and he's looking for Lila, and when he gets there, he's basically captured. And when asked why he's in Section D, he replies that he's looking for Lila. She must work in this section. I've never seen her in the others. I suppose that's right, says Buddy's captor. And like an RKO villain, they decide to sit Buddy down and show him their whole operation, man. So they show a video of them sending a Nancy model for a guy, and she's like, hello, put me together and I'll be your friend. This is amazing. And they say, a customer paid us handsomely to deliver Nancy to a famous literary agent. Oh, thank you, sir, says Nancy. He was surprised but captivated. He put Nancy together. So you're so nice I could kiss you. Incredible. And then suddenly there's a big explosion. They blew up. Yeah, Nancy bombed out, so to speak. We got it all with a zoom R lens from a safe distance. You sent that man an exploding model. You sell murder. You could send those automations to kill world leaders. You might start an atomic war. Don't worry about things like that. I think of all that money can buy. That's why I build and sell female bombs, pseudo people with names like Nancy, Carol, Lila. Lila, you mean she's Lila? Oh, my hand. It's been burned. To his captor's astonishment, an area of surging energy appears on Buddy's chest, and within its center, a blazing eye. Lila is one of those deadly creatures. As Buddy's emotional stress increases, the fiery energy engulfs him. You indescribable fiend! Look out, Blank is growing, changing, but how? I've heard some talk about it. Electronic surgery, a computer hormone operation done by remote control. Look at him now! OMAC's captors panic and begin to shoot at him. My body is rejecting the bullets. I am OMAC. Back men, use the rear doors. Confused and panicked, the men flee from the room. He can't be stopped. We got to do something fast. I've closed the steel door on him. Now I'll let the room shredder do the rest. And we see the room shredder is just the other wall coming to where OMAC is. This won't work. I'm coming out. With a mighty blow of his fists, OMAC breaks down the steel door. I'm being fed strength and knowledge by some unknown source. My job is to stop your evil activity. Stand by, men. We've got more cards to play. The racket leader pulls down a switch. Beneath OMAC's feet, the metal door opens wider. Try our fire vat, OMAC. The heat that softens the material used in the production of mannequins seems ready to consume OMAC. Sorry I can't oblige you by falling into this stuff. You'll use no more of it to mold destructive pseudo-people. OMAC's body seems to gain tremendous tension power, then he makes a fantastic leap across the floor. Look out! And so we see OMAC flying into the men, throwing them all over the place. See how you like this gun, OMAC. It shoots 100 rounds a second. Ye gods! He's got lightning reflexes. Numbers can't stop him. He's a one-man army. It's the other name for OMAC. OMAC. It's what's for dinner. I've broken into the shipping room. From here, they export death. On your guard, OMAC's clobbered. Everybody knows his name's OMAC already? Like maybe 6 people? He just entered a different room, and those men in that room now know his name is OMAC. Is it like through osmosis? Somewhere inside OMAC, Buddy Blank is not yet faded completely. Before him is an open case. Its shocking contents stare at him as he approaches. The faint last vestiges of Buddy Blank seem to scream. His memory rises for one tragic moment in OMAC. Hello. Put me together and I'll be your friend. Lila. They'll pay for this, Lila. They've done more than trifle with human life. They've made a mockery of the spirit. In a terrible flash of insight, OMAC realizes he exists, what his mission is, and that his enemy is man's own capacity for self-destruction. Congratulations, guys. You created Skynet, you created the Matrix, you created every evil robot that ever wanted to destroy humanity. OMAC lives so that man may live. Later, the incident ends as it begins with the destruction of Section D. There'll be no more victims claimed by this foul racket. The peace agency will round up the little rats. But my next move shall be to nab Mr. Big. Dude, I wasn't a fan of them either, but to want their destruction, to chase them down and kill them or anything, that's going a little bit too far, man. All they want to do is be with you. Then OMAC looks up into the night sky and listens to a voice. Very good, OMAC. You've heard everything I've told you. I've also used the powers you gave me when I needed them, Brother Eye. High in orbit, above the Earth, Brother Eye communicates with OMAC. I shall always help you. We are linked by the symbol on your chest. We are like brothers. I transmit beams. Some of them bring you my voice. Others feed you information. A powerful unseen beam such as this changed Buddy Blank and brought you into being. This one penetrates my brain. On this one beam rides a complete orientation course of OMAC's situation. It lights up his environment, background, and where to start on the road to Mr. Big. I start here in Electric City with Professor Myron Forrest. Then on to Mr. Big. Next, want to rent a city? In the world that's coming, the super rich can do it, especially Mr. Big. So there you go, gang. That is the very first appearance of OMAC, the one-man army corps. That's the C. Anyway, I gotta tell you, I liked it. It was pretty good. I kept hearing about how bad Jack Kirby's writing was, and there's some silliness in here, by the way, and the dialogue isn't great, but it's still a fun book. I enjoyed it. There have been, of course, other iterations right up to Brother Eye and Infinity, well, not Infinity. What was it, Infinite Crisis? Yeah, this is a fun time to be had. I think so anyway. This is not bad. Man, Jack Kirby did some weird and cool work. Once again, there's some nightmarish images in here, but the paneling is awesome. I always thought that Jack Kirby was the king of, by that I mean just the way he fits a panel, there's just energy coming off the page, right? This is a really cool book, I think. Anyway, what do you think? Let me know in the comments below. Don't forget to click like, share, subscribe, ring that notification bell if you haven't done it already, and, you know, just make sure the notifications are on for Google and YouTube, and go on over to Patreon, Ko-Fi, drop $1 in the till to help us keep making these videos and help us keep our lights on, basically. Anyway, thank everybody who's already done that, and to everyone, all of the true believers, thank you very, very much for watching.